All right, picking up the action in race number 3 of the Petit Finals. This is the race for third and fourth place. Well, the race for third place in the 2014 Intercollegiate National Match Racing Championship. The score is 1-1. The winner of this race is third. And we've got Boston College on the right in the yellow boat, number 11. And St. Mary's on the, well, looking at the boats, St. Mary's is on our right. They're boat number 4, looking upwind, they're on the left. This is the dial-up. This is how most match races begin. The boat number 11, the windward boat, or the boat on the right looking upwind, is in control. And their goal is to keep boat number 4 there as long as possible, take time off the clock, and be in a stronger position for the final approach. The goal of boat number 4 is to obviously get out of there, break up this dial-up in some form, and get the boat sailing on port tack out past the committee boat. So about a minute's gone by right now. It's a classic dial-up. Both boats handling their boats well. If you want to watch the people on the bow, they are actually in control of the boat by backing the jib. They are doing all the work. It's like a bow thruster on a big ship, and they are actually the ones making the boat do what the boat's doing, and the driver is the one that's telling them what to do. So there's a lot of communication, both verbal and nonverbal, going on. But you can see St. Mary's did a better job of backing their boat down. In fact, they just threw a Y flag. They're claiming Boston College broke a rule. Not sure what that would have been, and the umpires put up a green and white flag, which means no penalty, play on. But St. Mary's did actually a very good job getting out of the dial-up. They broke up the dial-up by actually sailing in reverse, which is a skill in match racing that you don't use too much in other forms of racing. And now the boats are fairly neutral coming into the playground, the area out past the committee boat where the circling and the action happens, about a boat length and a half apart. So neither boat's in control with 2 minutes to go. What you're going to see here now is boat number 11 is going to bear off and jibe at some point and either do a complete circle or stay on starboard and try and lead back. So we'll see what they do. About 1:40 to go. There's the jibe, and he is showing circling at this point, and now he breaks it off. So he is showing lead with 1:30 to go. So this is William Bailey taking the lead, and Jake Liddell from St. Mary's and his team is pushing. They're about 1:20 to start, and they're probably 45 seconds from the line. So they're killing quite a bit of time, which is why you see them sailing away from the line. Boat number 4 is trying to hurry boat 11 along by threatening, there's 1 minute to start, by threatening to get a leeward overlaps, which keeps number 11 moving along towards the line. And boat number 11 is trying to defend against being overlapped to leeward or hooked by using her speed and her position. So now Jake has brought his boat up to bring the boats up closer to the line. The risk of the pusher is you end up pushing so far down that you end up behind all the way back up. And there goes William Bailey tacking onto port. It's a very strong move, actually. He's going to get up to the right of Jake Liddell. Jake got a little advanced on him. And this tells me that Jake will get the left off the start and William will get the right. And it's just a matter of whether William pushes the boats far enough down the line. There's only 15 seconds to go or so. So I think they're going to probably end up both starting on starboard here with William to windward and Jake to leeward. And then you'll probably see William, boat number 11, Boston College, tack soon after the start. So there's your start. That's what we call a close to leeward start, with St. Mary's in a stronger position right now. And Boston College has to be really disciplined and get out before they lose an inch. All right, we're picking up the action on the first beat of the third race of the Petit Finals. This is a race for third place at the 2014 Intercollegiate National Match Racing Championship. And you just saw St. Mary's cross BC handily. St. Mary's is in firm control of this race, and it all started at the start when St. Mary's BC was the leeward boat leading back, or was leading back and was the leeward boat, chose to give up that position to become the pushing boat. The boat started with St. Mary's to leeward and BC to windward. They both started on starboard, and BC had to tack soon after, which always gives the initial advantage to the leeward boat. St. Mary's matched the tack. They were on port tack, and when BC came back on starboard, St. Mary's tacked to leeward of them and pushed BC back out to the right. St. Mary's picked up a nice shift on the left and has really extended their lead here. So St. Mary's in huge lead and great control. Jake Liddell and St. Mary's looking to finish third in this national championship. It'll be the third year, I believe, that they finished third. So very consistent, solid match racing, and excellent performance. Coming into the first windward mark of this third race at St. Mary's, approaching in boat number 4 with a solid lead, maybe 8 to 10 lengths, and good pressure to set their spinnaker in. A good hoist, and well done getting the kite filling right away. Jibs coming down, and Jake bringing the boat into a jibe, figuring maybe better pressure out to the right looking downwind. Certainly there's a better current effect. And there's Boston College rounding. I must say I'm not a fan of bald-headed jibes. I think it's better to set and then jibe. Boston College wasn't going to be on St. Mary's wind anyways, so I think you want a fast maneuver first and then position second. So we'll see how that pans out for William Bailey. But he needs to do something here. He's far enough behind that his wind shadow is not going to affect St. Mary's, even if he's on St. Mary's wind direction. So Williams really got to have to do it with, I think, getting a different zip code, trying to get some pressure that St. Mary's doesn't get, or just get the boats maneuvering. Just start throwing some jibes in and get St. Mary's, because they're far enough apart that sailing straight is not going to, he's not going to take enough out of St. Mary's lead by sailing straight like this. He's going to have to do some maneuvering and get it shaken up a little bit.